Right, so one of the lovely easy jobs is these pods that are going in all over the UK for schools. Basically we've got 4 downlights, a couple of sockets, a heater underneath the window and a little fuse board up here that we've got to second fix. This has been put off for ages. I've done this probably a couple of months ago. So yeah, we just got a second fix and then someone's going to come in and decorate. But one thing I have noticed, after they've boarded, there should be 2 cables in there. The live and neutral coming in and the live and neutral going out. So we've got to cut that out of where the switch goes to figure out what they've done with that cable. Because the rest of them are up here, like live and neutral in and out, live and neutral in and out, live and neutral in and out. Shouldn't be a live and neutral in and out. Should be end of line. So let's see what's happened. Right, because I've lost a few cables and I don't know, some of them doesn't sit right to me how they're been boarded up. I'm just going to terminate every single, not terminate, but I'm going to strip back every single cable and bell it out to make sure that it's not damaged, because when I get the second fix and testing, I'll come a problem. So I can see my problems now. So this is my plan. So I'm going to do the switches, the sockets, the lot. And then to remember where I put the cables for the lights, we can see through here, but we just want to get them 60, 75. So we'll give that a circle. For 75, 60, give that a circle, that's exactly where it wants to be. And then 75 and 60. Give that a circle. 60. Look at that, straight on. So they're not too bad, and then I've got to decorate anyway. 75. So that is where my light's going to be. So if I can mark all these out, drill them out, then basically start second fixing. Just as I thought, there's 2 in there, like there should be. Look at that. The decorator's got to come back. Right, and then that noggin out to get the box in. Always something. Now the sockets are a radial circuit, but there should still be 2 cables in this one. This was not end of line, I know that for definite. It doesn't make sense. So there should have been 2 cables in here, but for some reason there's only 1. Luckily it's not decorated, so I can pull the board off and obviously find out where that bleeding cable's gone. I knew there's 2 cables going down there. There's 2 cables going down and they've pulled 1 out. So where is the other one then? It's not coming out of there anywhere. There it is. Why is it too short now? Nightmare. Now, to get the job done, not only do you need to be an electrician, you need to be a boarder too. So yeah, now I've got them 2 cables down there. I've got to put this, oh sugar, back together. Luckily, this hasn't been decorated. Sometimes, you know why they haven't decorated, because they know they're faffed up. And, oh, sugar. They've got to sort stuff out. It's just sometimes a bit of a nightmare. And then for these sockets, I've got the laser set up. So these are 450 to the bottom. It's flashing a bit, so that's saying it ain't level. It down a bit. There we go. And what I want to do now is mark out where these are going to go so I can make a mess. So this is going to go, because that's going to be a joist there, so I want to come over a little bit. So if I can get that straight in there. This is going to be a cutout for them. And I think there is sellotex behind that. Fantastic. And this one. There. 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 There we go. That one as well. This, God, I've got to move it around a bit. But I want to get it level with that one. So if we have a bit more on there, that is on that as well. And as always, there is something in the way. So we'll do this. Can we see it over here? Because this one's going to be a single. So this one, of course, we can't see the laser, but there, we just see it faintly. This is a single for the heater. Alright, and then cut these out level. There's two cables in here. No one knows what for. That's for your heater. Go through. Not sure. Right, this one. There we go. That one's in there. So that one's end of line. We know that much. I don't know. Put this duct tape on. This one. This can't be end of line as well. Well, it can't be end of line as well. So what's happened here? There's some cables gone missing. Oh, great. Right, we've got all these boxes in, ready for the heaters and the sockets. And that's a bit wonky. Yeah, that might need sorted out. But now I'm just going to poke the cables up and in the ceiling, because when I drill these holes, I don't want them to get damaged. Oh, if they go up, look, that one's gone up all right. So we're fine. But then I want to get this. It's not going to happen, is it? Some of these. Got to get them out of the way in case I damage them when I'm cutting the hole out. I want to do it nice and neat, right on that cross, what I've marked out. Some of them should be fine. I'm not fussed about damaging this bit because there's plenty of cable on them and I can get that. Right, I just want to shove that one up out of the way now. Get in there. There we go. So I can just cut this plasterboard out for where the lights go. And although we have made a bit of a mess, I'm going to use my dade to try and save, oh, sugar, the dust going everywhere. I do want to get that a few threads off and then lock it in with the dade. Do it straight up, so then that on that cross, so that could guide it. He says. There we go. And it has to be where that is. Fantastic. Nothing ever goes to plan, does it? Not all the time. And then this one. That ain't too bad, look. That'll come straight out where they've cut out the Celotex. You would have thought they'd cut out that Celotex in the same place. But no, they just cut it out wherever. This is the thing, these sort of things are thrown up. And that one. Look at that, straight on that Celotex. Ain't too bad. And that's why I poked it up, so I can damage that little bit rather than all that. Now, thankfully, there wasn't any that was damaged or they didn't show any signs of screws going through. So now my next plan is to second fix the lot. Just put them all on and leave them loose just in case they need to come back off. Leave the two screws loose, I mean, not the terminals in the socket, to basically test and to make sure that it all works properly. And obviously get rid of these stupid little things, because I bet you the decorator's going to want to pull these off. Don't know why I'm here. But let's get this bit done. Second fix all the sockets and then we can test, do our bit, make sure everything works, get paid. Which is the main thing, of course. You may notice with these sockets, I haven't put a flying lead to the back box. Well, there's a good reason for that, but I do bend over the earth to make them a better connection, because the earths are smaller, I think they're 1.5, so the earths can go in their own terminal. The lives on a 4mm cable I wouldn't bend over. It's a waste of time, make it stupidly hard to get in, especially when you're putting two in. So I want to get these two in here. That is your neutrals. Nice and tight. Then your lives. They go nice and in there. You cannot see any copper coming out. That is your main thing. Don't want to see the copper coming out. It looks pants. And it's not good. But always give it a bit of a tug as well. Make sure. And then your earths are going straight into the socket with no flying lead to the back box. Well, I can explain that. It's a plastic back box. If you're going to put a flying lead to a plastic back box, you're an idiot. Well, that sort of put a stop to things today. Just the guy come along and said, yeah, I got a lock up at 3. 3? Right, yeah, it's 2:30 now, so I'm going to pack away. I'm happy with that. I'll come back tomorrow. So this will be quick for you, but overnight for me. And tomorrow, I've just got to finish off getting the mains to it. A mains 10mm armoured. It was a nightmare to go through the classroom, and I got to do a bit of plastering tomorrow actually as well. Only a little bit where I drilled through, it blew a hole in it, and where the old YT2 was on the wall, I pulled it off, took the plaster with it. Nightmare. See on the flip side. Right, well with this, I didn't want to go into the ground. I don't know why, but it would have been nicer to go up and over. Up and under even. But we've got to put a continuing wire in here. So this is what we've got. Comes in 10 metres. So, we haven't got a choice, but 10 metres. There's that knife. Don't know. Screwdriver. So let's get this all out. That. So we want to hook one end and that the other. Right, bend them round. It should go on nicely like that. Well, let's get rid of this a bit so we can take the slack out with this, is the plan. So open this up a little bit, because it won't turn. Oh, well, that's the wrong way. Left-handed thread on one, and then right-handed thread on the other. Yeah, makes sense. So we've got to open this up, so then we can pull the slack out. Firstly, we want to fix these two up, which I'm going to get some decent screws. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put it on the edge of this, basically. Nice and tight up there. That'll be the edge of the box. What do you call it? The office, whatever it is. To be able to pull it tight. Right. There we go. That looks nice. Sugar. But that is on there. So that's going to be one end. Now we need the other end over here. Which will be spot on just there, I reckon. So that'll take the slack off this cable. That one, that one, that one, and that one. So 4 holes in there. And this brick is a bit of a bitch because it's bloody hard. So we need the big drill. Horrible. Surprising this brick don't crumble. The state of it. Well, we got it. Then now, we want some red plugs, but I'm not going to use them screws because they're just going to be too small. We're going to use these to go in there to give it a good fixing. And luckily that anchor bit will cover the mess up which I've made with smashing the brick to bits. To be honest with you, They're not even straight. Just want it to anchor to the side there. I'm not a fan of these catenary wires over the top. They look pants, but there is a need for them every now and again. I would rather dig the pathway up. It would just look better in the long run. Right. There we go. That's just enough to support the cable, because the whole point of this catenary wire is to support the cable rather than the cable supporting itself. Right, and then to get this a nice hook round, but we want it to be hooked round on there. So, is that going to go on there a bit? Ah, it's not. Need to bend it out a bit to get it round. Sugar. Fucking fell out. Right, bend it open a bit. I can get it over that hook. He says it's not open enough. Of course it's not. Open enough now, maybe. Yes. Let's just nip it up a bit. Does it come off? Might be a good idea to straighten her up. There we go. And now we're going to go round and just get that to go around there neat. All I want to do, would have been an idea to thread these three first, wouldn't it? So undo these a little bit on there, and then thread them back on themselves. Great, that one's fell down there. But I just want to get this one on nice. So we can get this one on here, like so. And here's my little Temu socket set, which is rubbish, of course. Do these up. That one's a bit loose. Just want to clamp that cable basically so it's not going nowhere. It's not going to be pulling anything. All it's got to do is be a support for this cable going across, but decent support. Right, then get this is the tension of it. So this is the bit that's going to tension it up. Look at this. Go over here once again. For now, I just want to get it in line Put that in there. That should be fine. There we go. And then now we want is to do this up, look, like this, because then it can pull this tension, pull the slack out of it. So then it's a nice wire rather than just a slack washing on. Look at that. It doesn't want to be fantastically tight, just enough to hold that cable where the tension is on the wire. Could do it too tight, probably pull the wood off or pull that off, but that will be perfect. But then, because this wire is bleeding tough, I've got to cut it with this. My cutters will not cut it. There we go. Beautiful. There's another one, this comes in handy. Couple of cable ties on it, couple, about 6 or 7, just to make it look nice and straight so it isn't hanging as well. Doesn't matter if it does the job, it's got to look like it does the job. And there we go, looks perfectly straight now, and it takes the slack out of that cable. I don't know where a plug is, so I'm going to get my little charger out, a jackery charger, to be able to charge this up. And then what I want to do is get my solar panel out. And I'm going to put it on this roof. It will plug straight into there. That way. Jackpot. And then I'm hoping to get a decent sun from here to charge it up. I can just sit up here and charge up. So we're going to get the lights on first so we can see. So what I'm going to do first is basically measure the end of line. I'm going to take this out, because then I can get onto the live, neutral and earth. Put that up there. Yep, this end of line one, I can just get onto that perfectly and just measure that to make sure that there's no breaks in the cable. Which I've got that. Yep, there's a blue one on the earth, but it would be fine. And now I need to get my crocodile clip on the live, which I put the wrong one on. Right, just turn the kit on. It says turn the kit on. Yes, it comes on. I'm going to check the leads first to make sure that it does measure out. So insulation, let's make sure it's between live and neutral. Beautiful, open, live and earth. Nice, and then earth and neutral. Oh. I've connected it in the board so yeah, we've got a reading. Let's have a look at this. 243 volts. So then I want to go on to loop. What we're going to get. .87. That's all right. 1 times. 29.4 milliseconds. Spot on, that's exactly what I want. Because then we'll get a bit of light in here and we can test the rest. So let's just put this back. Flipping earth leading. This is why I want to keep using Doncaster cable. Doncaster cable, do it in LSF as well. Well, I don't know whether they do, but I'm asking them to. Do that Doncaster cable in LSF, then we can use it in schools, which have to be LSF. Right, so I'm going to put these in. Now, I'll get that in there. That can go up there. Ah, there we go. Right, so we've got the lights back on. There we go. Hey presto, we have light. So then now, I'm just going to do the same to the sockets, loop the sockets, and then mark up on the board what they are. All we've got is 3 sockets, 4 lights, one-way switched, and a heater, which will turn the heater on to test to make sure it works, of course, but it's a bit warm. And then tidy up. So now all there is to do is to put these, I can't remember what they're called. Caps? What would it been called? It's lost. It's out of my head. What do you call them? Bezels. These bezels on the lights. Basically, put bezels on the lights. Let the decorator come in and finish off the mess, which everyone else has made, not just me. Should twist and lock. Twist and lock. Twist and lock. On, oh, and done. Now, leave a comment down below, because if you want some work, come and clear this shit up. I can't be asked.